October 11th, 2009.
The day our lives changed forever.
Ashley was like my kid sister.
Ashley was my sister.
Ashley is my baby sister. My best friend.
Ashley Ione Deanne Richards was born September 26, 1988 in Portales. Ashley was a vibrant 21-year-old that loved life, and her motto was live, laugh, and love. She was a special daughter, a special sister, and a special what they call Nina, which is an aunt in Spanish, and just loved her kids, and loved life and loved family.
She loves sports. She loved to be with her family. Any little thing that she could find to have a party for, she would. Any birthday, any anniversary, anything. But most of all, she loved to dance. She said dancing was her passion.
She loved competition. Anything that she can compete on, she'd compete on. It didn't matter what it was. She'd come in the world competing and left the world competing. Ashley was a giver. A lot of people didn't realize how much she gave, and she would do it in her own special way. And she was very sensitive, had a very sensitive spirit.
Ashley impacted my life by showing me what God's true love is, really, because she lived her life every day like nothing else mattered. I mean, that moment, that day was all she cared about for that time, and she would help anybody. She cared about everyone. She brought so many different people into our lives.
She believed in connecting people, believing in that there was no separation with ethnicity or who people were, whether their social life or what have you. She believed in connecting people. She didn't look at people from the outside. She looked at people from the inside, and that's who she was.
She made everybody around just feel a part. It didn't matter who you were. If you were new to me, you weren't new to her, even if she met you just one time. So she taught me a lot about just accepting all sorts of people, no matter what their background, what their color. It didn't matter to her at all.
She was my person I could look up to. She was one of my best friends.
One time on the basketball court, we were having a feud between these girls from another team, and she jumped right in front of me and stood right up to this girl and was just like, that is my big sister, and you're not going to talk to her like that. And, you know, in a nice way, I guess, as nice as she could be.
Cassandra wasn't the protector. Ashley was the protector over Cassandra, and she always protected Cassandra on anything. It didn't matter what it was. If girls were messing around with Cassandra, older girls, she would go and tell them, hey, you don't mess with my big sister here.
We loved to play basketball, volleyball, just about any sport that you can imagine. Anything competitive, Ashley and I loved to play.
I loved watching her play basketball and volleyball, and just the memories that I have of her competing on the court like that, and just in life, and she loved to win. She liked the competitive. She loved to compete.
One of my favorite memories of Ashley was the day that Demry was born. And Demry's our first granddaughter. And you'd have thought that was her baby, the way she acted.
Who's that?
Nina.
Yes. My daughter looks at Ashley as that was her godmother. And my daughter still remembers her godmother. And my son never got to meet her. And that's upsetting, because she could have brought so many things out in him that maybe I can't ever do. That's just how she was. She brought the best out in everybody.
October 11th, 2009, about 4:15 in the morning, is when we received the phone call.
Ashley had been in a wreck. And the first thing I said was, "Is she okay?" And she said, "I don't know. You need to come."
When I found out that Ashley had had a wreck, my first reaction was, it's not that bad. It can't be that bad. Because I didn't know anything. I just knew that Ashley was in a wreck and that we needed to get over to her parents' house so they can get to her.
It was like a shock.
I'm talking to a guy that was right in front of the vehicle that Ashley was in, talking to him, and I was asking him, "Can you tell me if my baby's okay?" And he would just say, I can't tell you. I said, "Well, can you put the phone to her ear?" He said, "Yeah." So he sticks the phone to her ear, and I just start telling her about how much we love her. And it was like we were saying our goodbyes to her right then.
I was concerned, but I was not to the point where I thought something was truly going to be life-changing out of this.
I kept praying, "God, just have mercy on her. Have mercy on her, please. Just, let her be okay. It doesn't matter if, she's paralyzed forever or just anything. I just wanted her to be okay." But I knew deep down that she wasn't okay.
As soon as we top the hill, we see all the lights, and we see the vehicle and Ashley.
I could see the car from the side, but I couldn't see her. And I started to get out of the car, and my dad's running towards me and stops me. And at this time, I was 8 months pregnant with my son.
We didn't let her go see her because we was afraid that she might go into labor or something. And we look back now and we realize that was a big mistake, that because Cassandra never got to see her.
And I just said, "Daddy, please tell me she's okay." And he's like, "No, baby, she's not. I'm sorry." And I just remember screaming at the top of my lungs.
And she looked like she was just asleep. There was no blood, no nothing. She looked perfect. And I know a lot of people probably don't understand this, but probably seeing the worst thing that I could ever imagine, ever in my life. But I felt the peace that I can't explain. I think we both realized that at that time, but we knew that no one had ever said that she was gone, but we knew. Out of all the experiences that I've had with Ashley, I would have to say that 20 to 30 minutes was the most special time that I've ever spent with her, ever. What we felt there, we knew that there was something special that was going on, and we know through our faith that she was actually entering into eternity at that time. The day of the accident, I was sitting at the computer and I was looking at all of her pictures and reading her MySpace, and we both were, a lot of us were actually, playing her videos, and I just felt something drop in my spirit, and it was it was my Ashley.
He made a promise to her that he would never let his daughter's voice go unheard.
Everything that we're doing in Ash's name, I think is great.
We started a fundraiser. The very first one we started were these bracelets. They actually have her name on them, which says "My Ashley," and then her favorite scripture, which was Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." And she would write that on her shoes, her hat, her softball hat. And so, I mean, if you see her pages, it's everywhere. We started with these for the billboard signs. We want to start putting up some billboards. We already have a poster made up of what we want on all the billboards.
I know that this world that we live in, you can't stop alcohol. If our government allows it, you can't stop it. You can change the hearts and minds of people, and you can change statistics.
I think that it will change a lot of people's lives. I think it will, just help someone to think the next time they've drinking alcohol and they're about to get in the car, maybe remember her face.
It's a severe, severe, severe problem. And social drinking has what is that phrase is what is causing us to lose kids every day. Don't think that it can't happen to you, because it can. We thought the same thing. 28 people a day are dying from alcohol-related deaths. 28 people a day. And that means that 28 lives are being affected just like ours is. And it's a sickness, it's a disease, it's something that's got to get to the legislation for change. And until stories like this are told and people's hearts are truly changed, because it's the heart that's got to change, nothing's going to change. You just would not believe all the hurting people that are out there. I mean, there's people reaching out from one end of the United States to the other, and even into Canada. We're getting people from Canada that's writing us and asking us for prayer and what they're dealing with, and just there's so many.
It's a healing thing for a lot of people that knew her, and a lot of people that maybe didn't know her but have experienced the same sort of loss. We have almost 1,700 members, and a lot of them are people from far away that didn't know her. And I just know that telling her story and allowing people to post their stories in their hard times, and my dad is so good and my mom is so good about responding to them and reaching out to them even though they're the ones hurting.
I have just been so amazed, and it just shows me every day that just loving people, no matter who they are, where they come from, because that's how Ashley was, can make such a huge impact.
People need to wake up. Our governments need to wake up. Our social drinkers need to wake up. And if you purchase alcohol and you consume alcohol, you're just as responsible as the person behind the wheel that killed my daughter. That's our story. We don't want to browbeat people, but what we want people to do is to truly realize the sickness that they are a part of if they are drinkers. And that's just the truth.
I absolutely love the idea of my Ashley. It was Mark keeping his promise to his daughter.
We want to be a voice for my Ashley.
Because it's what she would have wanted.